Call the Alpena County Board of Commissioners Finance Ways and Means Committee meeting to order on Tuesday, October 10th at 9:30. If we could start with a roll call, please.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Here.
Commissioner Osmer,
Here.
Commissioner Lalone, here, Commissioner Peterson,
Here.
Commissioner Fournier,
Here.
Commissioner Konarczewski,
Here.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Here.
Commissioner Francisco.
Here. You would all please rise and join me with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And before we move into the agenda, I'm going to open the public hearing for the Community Development Block Grant. Is anyone online that wishes to comment? One of the board members that wish to comment on the Community Development Block Grant? Hearing none, I would look for a motion to close our public hearing for the Community Development Block Grant.
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner LaHaye. Do I have a support? I have support from Commissioner Fournier. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. The motion passes and we will close the Community Development Block Grant public hearing. At this time, I'd look for a motion to adopt the agenda.
In addition to the agenda,
Okay, Commissioner Peterson?
the chief financial officer letter for the MOA. I'm going to put it right above closed session. The item action item 13.
Yes, sir. Any other amendments to the agenda as presented? I'll look for a motion to approve the agenda with the one addition to the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion from Commissioner Fournier. Do I have support?
Support.
I have support from Commissioner Lalone. Any further discussion?
Yes.
If not, all in favor, please indicate to adopt the agenda with the one addition, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Hearing none, the motion is carried and the agenda is adopted. Our first action is committee action for bills to pay. I look for a motion to pay all the bills as submitted.
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion from Commissioner LaHaye to pay the bills as submitted. Do I have support?
Support.
I have support from Commissioner Lalone. Discussion.
Just had one question on the, under the Commissioners Department 200, early testing, is that for, background checks?
Background checks is actually under a slightly different line that is for physicals, pre-employment physicals.
Excuse me, did you say commissioners? Did you say commissioners have to have a physical?
No,
No.
it was under the Commissioners Department.
Oh, all right.
Any further discussion? If not, then I'll look, everyone who supports to pay the bills as indicated, please indicate by saying aye.
We have to go for roll call.
Oh, thank you. Sorry about that. Roll call, please.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Osmer,
Yes.
Commissioner Lalone,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier,
Yes,
Commissioner Konarczewski,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco.
Yes. The next item on our agenda are budget adjustments, and it's attached, the budget adjustments for consideration are attached to your agenda. I believe. If not, they were mailed to you in the packets. Can I get a motion to approve the budget adjustments as presented?
Make that motion.
I have a motion from Commissioner Peterson. Do I have support?
I'll support it.
I have support from Commissioner LaHaye. Discussion on the budget adjustments. Hearing none, I will approve by a roll call. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Osmer,
Yes.
Commissioner Lalone,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier,
yes,
Commissioner Konarczewski,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco.
Yes. The The next item on our agenda is Steve Smigelski, the airport manager, for payment of the primary services invoice number 1102-36 in the amount of $59.95 to be paid from the POC charges reserve line item number 295-000-383.000 and expense from the airport fund consulting services line item number 295-595-805.000 as presented. Looking for a motion to pay the invoice.
Chairman, I make that motion. I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion from Commissioner Kozlowski, and I have support from Commissioner Osmer. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Malone,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Osmer,
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco.
Yes. The next item on our agenda is action item number 4, still regarding the airport. Look for a motion to approve the quote from J Rank Electric in the amount of $7,639.27 to repair the windsock light at the approach end of runway 7 and to increase the airport fund runway maintenance line item number 295-595 at 933.002 by the amount as indicated, $7,639.27 as presented. And this repair will be claimed in the third quarter CARES Act reimbursement request.
Make that
I
motion.
have a motion from Commissioner Peterson. Do I have support?
I'll support.
I have support from Commissioner Fournier. Discussion on action item number 4.
Just have a question on, so when do we submit the request to receive that money back?
Is, Steve, are you on the line?
Yes, sir, I am.
Just stepped out here. He was here.
There we go. I'm in the process right now of closing out the third quarter reimbursement request. So as soon as this is approved, I can have J Rank go in and submit the bill and it'll be claimed. Normally they have about a 2 to 4 week turnaround on these reimbursement requests.
So my question at this point is there is $10,510 available in that line item at this time? You're looking to increase it by the amount of the bill as well?
I am. The reason for that is the CARES Act money is coming to the end. So we want to make sure that we have this money expended and we don't lose any more like we did when the federal government pulled it back as part of the federal budget.
Steve, what happened to the windsock light that it needs to be repaired for $7,600 and some dollars?
The windsock lighting, it's a different voltage than what the taxiway and runway lighting is. So it requires a step down transformer. The step down transformer is the most expensive part. It was, I don't know when it was put in, but whoever did it did a direct bury on it. So that didn't help the longevity of the device. So what's going to happen now is it's going to actually be put into a casement and not direct buried. And then that way there, when the runway lights are brought up, as you may recall, they'll step up to the highest intensity, a medium intensity, and a low intensity. This transformer also allows the windsock lighting to step in the same way.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any further questions for our airport manager or any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier,
Yes.
Commissioner Konarshevsky,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Osmer,
Yes.
Commissioner Malone,
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco.
Yes. Next item on our agenda is to recommend the approval of the FY 2024 Child Care Fund budget for Alpena County in the amount of $1,083,925 for the juvenile division as presented. We have Janelle and Ms. Mott here to explain to us a little bit further why we're going to approve this.
Well, you're gonna approve it because you have to. But it is substantially similar. We have some increases in the in-home care. Memo states the reimbursement for anything we offer in community is going up to 75%, started October 1 of this year. The goal is to increase the services we're giving to youth and family in county and avoid as much out-of-home care as possible. Out-of-home care is still only reimbursed at 50% for fiscal year 24. but there's no beds available anyway, so we are not really incurring a lot of those expenses. We do have some more counseling services we're expanding. We have our pivot program. We run in cooperation with NEMSCA, the School and Catholic Human Services. We are expanding that to provide more services to those kids. And those are the kids we consider most at risk, or kids that we've brought home from placement and we're trying to step down and reintegrate into the community. So the numbers are pretty straightforward. I do anticipate as the fiscal year moves forward that I will be back probably for a budget adjustment, hopefully not to ask for more money. They're giving us the 75% this fiscal year with no strings attached, everything the same as it has been in prior years. But the legislation has a lot of language for requirements that if we're required to implement for fiscal year 25, we're going to have to front end some of that starting in July, August, September of next year. I'm hopeful we're small enough, we'll be exempt from a lot of it, but I may be back requesting a budget amendment for this fiscal year.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I am looking for a motion and support to approve the FY 2024 Child Care Fund budget in Alpena in the amount of $1,083,925 as she has presented.
I'll make the motion.
I have some motion from Commissioner Fournier. Do I have support?
I'll support.
I have a support from Commissioner Konashevsky. Any further discussion?
I just have one or a couple of questions. So on your memo, you said this is an increase of 164,690, but you use parentheses. When I look at that, I think of negative. So I just wanted to make sure this is an increase,
Oh,
correct?
it is an increase. Yeah, sorry. No, I didn't mean that as a negative. I would have said decrease, but yeah.
And then the other question is in proposed FY 22, not a big deal, but your estimated revenue is 134,520. It actually went down 480. Was a reason for that. So on the second page, under the basic grant, you have the subtotal and then you have estimated.
Oh, I'm following you. It's because when the number that I need you to approve is on this sheet from the state, and it populates numbers based upon what I get in, what I put in, and the math is never quite right. So that estimated revenue number is the number I use to balance out to get to that number provided by the state. It
Okay.
fluctuates.
I was just wondering if you thought you were getting $480 less this year, and I'm like, I would have just
For a
wanted.
specific amount.
Yeah,
No.
okay.
Okay. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Fournier,
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Osmer,
Yes.
Commissioner Lalone,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson, Commissioner Francisco.
Yes.
Thank you. Chairman, can you stop by once this is approved? I'll have it at the window to sign and I'll get it uploaded.
Here.
Yeah, right here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
The next item is action item number 6. The recommendation of approval of the 23-21 resolution approving the 2023 apportionment report and authorize the chairman of the board and county clerk to sign all pertaining documents as presented. Do we have Mr. Summers on? See, he's not here. Is he online? Okay. Yeah,
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
we certainly can.
Okay, thank you, commissioners, for having me today. Yes, this is the 2023 apportionment report for Alpena County. This report consists of all millage rates levied within the county and the expected revenue from those millage rates. Each unit, along with the schools and authorities, submit their tax request to the equalization department. I review them and then prepare this report for your approval. In the report is a resolution outlining the requirements of the board and authorizing the chairman to sign upon approval. There's also the colorful page of the report is really just a recap showing all the millage rates along with what summer or winter levy they will be on. We just kind of broke that down to make it a little bit easier to understand so you can follow along and see if the millage rates are being collected in the summer or in the winter. Next page of the report is the county and state equalization, state education tax, and the millage rates along with those. This report also includes the extra voted millages for the county and local units. That also includes the total tax revenue expected to be collected off these millage rates. The one thing to keep in mind is these totals are from the conclusion of the March border review, and they don't include any changes from the July, December border reviews or tribunal cases that may happen throughout the year. On the next page, you have your authorities, which in this case would be the DDA, giving the taxable value amount, millage rate, and the dollars expected to be collected. And then the next page after that is the school districts, Alpena and Hillman, and a breakdown of those totals along with the millage rates. The next page is the community college and the intermediate school district. And on there list the millage rates and the tax dollars that can be expected to be collected from Alpena County only. And then the final page is just a recap of the homestead and non-homestead millage rates, which in this case are the same number. I've included the tax rate request forms from all the units just for your review, and you can see that they've all been approved, and I've reviewed them to make sure that they are calculated correctly and the millage rates are in fact correct. So I included a couple graphs just showing non-homestead and homestead millage rates for the different units within the county. So that concludes my report. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, stand by if you would. So you've heard the report from Mr. Summers, our equalization director. So I'd look for motion and support to approve the 2023 motion report with resolution 23-21.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion from Commissioner Kozlowski. Do I have support?
Support.
I have support from Commissioner Lalonde. Discussion. Questions for Mr. Summers?
Ted, what is the village of Hillman, the 10.5?
That is their operating millage. They have actually are approved to collect 12, I believe 12 or 12 and a half mills. They only collect 10.5. If you was to look at their tax rate request form on there, they don't in fact collect the entire millage. That's just an operating millage for the village of Hillman, and we have a very few parcels within the village of Hillman that is levied. They levy that operating tax.
Okay, thank you.
Any further
You're
discussion or questions on this topic? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Kondrashevsky,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Osmer,
Yes.
Commissioner Lalonde,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier,
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco.
Yes. The next items on our agenda are action items 7 and 8 with our county treasurer, Kim Ludlow. Action item number 7 is to receive and file the monthly treasurer's report for the month of September as presented. I have a motion or I need a motion and support. I have Commissioner Osmer has made the motion. Do I have support?
Support.
I have support from Commissioner Fournier. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of receiving the treasurer's report for the month of September as presented indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Hearing none, the motion is carried and the treasurer's report for September is in the records. Action item number 8 is recommending the approval of the third quarter budget adjustments for 2023 as presented. Look for a motion and support.
Motion.
I have a motion from Commissioner Peterson. Do I have support?
Support it.
I have support from Commissioner LaHaye. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Osmer,
Yes.
Commissioner Lalonde,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier,
Yes.
Commissioner Kondrashevsky,
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco.
Yes. The next item on our agenda is from the county administrator, recommending approval of the final 2022 cost allocation plan as presented and authorize the board chair and or the county administrator to sign all pertaining documents. All right, Catherine, please.
Do you have the report? It was actually part of our materials at our last meeting as well. This is the cost allocation that is done by our outside consultant. Anyone has any questions?
And this is the cost allocation plan in 22.
So it reviews 2022 and makes then a cost allocation that is included as part of our 2024 budget.
Okay. I'll look for a motion to approve the 2022 cost allocation plan as presented. I have a motion from Commissioner Kozlowski. Do I have support? I have support from Commissioner LaHaye. Any discussion on the cost allocation plan? We need roll call for this one. Okay. Roll call, please.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Osmer,
Yes.
Commissioner Malone,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier,
Yes.
Commissioner Konarshewski,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco.
Yes. And the last item under finance is the marijuana operation and oversight grants. And that was provided to you in your packet. Are there any questions regarding the marijuana operation and oversight grants? Hearing none, thank you for that information. This time I'll look for a motion to rise and report, motion and support
There's a spelling error on that. It's misspelled.
on oversight.
The medical marijuana grant, marijuana is misspelled.
Yep, as well as the oversight. We'll just make pen and ink changes to that.
Not being picky, but
So I'm looking for a motion to rise and report.
I did make that motion.
I'm sorry, I did not.
Robin spoke.
Okay, so Commissioner Fournier has given us has provided the motion to rise and report. Do I have support? Support. I have support from Commissioner Konashevsky. All in favor of motion to rise and report indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Hearing none, the motion is carried. And the gavel gets turned over to Commissioner, our Chair, Commissioner Peterson.
Okay, action item number 10, motion to approve all recommendations of the Finance Ways and Means Committee as presented. I need a motion, please.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Francisco, support.
I'll support.
Support by Commissioner Malone. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Osmer,
Yes.
Commissioner Malone,
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier,
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco,
Yes.
Commissioner Konarshewski,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson.
Yes. Action item number 11, motion to approve the consent calendar, which includes actions as listed above and all filing and filing of all reports. Need a motion, please.
Chairman, I've actually pulled from the personnel committee meeting, just any questions anybody might have on the evaluation. I believe everybody received it, but I just want to make sure.
Okay, I'm gonna pull the personnel. Okay, motion second.
I'll second.
Okay, we already have.
Oh, sorry, did I
Okay, the
skip? I
motion.
skipped. You made a
Second.
motion.
Then we'll discuss the personnel, but roll call.
Were you approving the consent calendar?
Yes,
Because I do have a couple of corrections.
okay.
On the planning commission minutes, I was not listed as being present. I know I was 5 minutes late, but I still was there.
Okay.
And then on page 2, a correction to the name Ryan Fairchild, I think, instead of Fairgrounds. I don't think his name is Fairgrounds. Right, Travis?
I think you. Okay,
And that was it.
make those corrections. Yeah. Okay, we have a motion to approve the consent calendar minus personnel committee meetings. I have a second by Commissioner Malone. All those approved, approved, please signify saying aye.
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 Opposed? Hey, Jesse?
So just a couple of quick notes. During the evaluation overview, we did have a couple of ideas for future evaluations. One of them is making sure that we ensure consistency using a format going forward so it doesn't change every year. That way the administrators graded fairly and consistently rather than things changing every year. There was some discussion about possibly lifting the I'm trying to think how to word this. Starting to have individuals fill out their names and stuff. That's still kind of up for debate. But the reason I bring this up is
everybody should have reviewed or received those in their mailbox. If after reviewing them, you have any ideas going forward, if you could share this with us, and that way we can compile them just in preparation for next year. Then if there were any questions, I could answer those.
Then we also talked about if you have any questions about Mary Catherine's job performance, get with her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we encourage everybody to meet with Mary Catherine and kind of go over their evaluations at their convenience if they have anything they'd like to maybe touch base on. Thank you, Chairman.
With that, I need a motion to approve the personnel committee meetings to the consent calendar.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Francisco,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Osborne. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, action item number 12. That's for you, Commissioner Francisco.
Chairman and other members of the Board of Commissioners, I'm recommending approval of the attached resolution 23-22 to commemorate Michigan Library Appreciation Month for October 2023. And we recently had a presentation from our library staff and certainly enlightened us on our Alpena County Library. So, Mr. Chair, I'd look for a motion to support resolution 23-22 to commemorate the Michigan Library Appreciation Month.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Lalonde. Support. Support by Commissioner LaHaye. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, carried. Okay, action item number 13. You have in front of you a packet from Chief Financial Officer letter going to the state of Michigan on the MOA. This is for, I'll read it as Chairman of the Alpena County Board of Commissioners. I am submitting this letter in support of Mount Morency, Oscoda, Alpena Solid Waste Management Authority's use of the financial test for closure and post-closure costs specified in the Code of Federal Regulations 40 CFR Part 258, Section 258.74. Landfill is owned and operated by the county, by Mount Morency, Oscoda, and Alpena Solid Waste Management Authority. Alpena County is a constituent, it's an Alpena, really having a hard time with this one. Municipality of the letter has been duly approved by the board of the Alpena County Board of Commissioners. This is our financial first letter we have to send to the state every year, saying we support BOA. If you have any questions on it, I'll try to answer, but
This is just something we have to do and
Yeah.
there's no money involved.
no money involved, just, well, there's money involved. We are,
It could be, yeah.
it could be money involved, but right now I believe we're about almost $4 million in that account, so.
Pretty substantial.
Yeah, so. I'd entertain a motion for me to sign this letter.
Make a motion.
My Commissioner LaHaye, support. Commissioner Fournier, any discussion?
Does this take into account like cost, potential cost increases? Is it, you said the total cost estimate is 10 million. So does that change?
It could change by the amount of volume going in. But hopefully with the with the MOA, with recycling, it's going to eliminate some of that, lower those costs.
Yeah.
But every time you open a new cell, costs go up a little bit, so the longer we keep the current cell, better it is. Every time you open a new cell, those costs go up.
With the potential of the injection well being operational here real soon, that will.
It'll cut some of that stuff down, because if we were to close it right now, say if something happened, we had to close it right now, there'd still be leachate hauled every year for the next. Now with the injection well, it's just gonna go right into the ground. There won't be those costs associated with it, so. Any more questions? Here we have motion and support. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Lalonde,
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier,
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco,
Yes.
Commissioner Kondrashevsky,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Osmer,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson.
Yes. Okay, closed session. Litigation. So we need a motion to go into closed session.
Make the motion to go into closed session, to discuss litigation.
Motion by Commissioner Francisco, support by Commissioner Osmer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
That was like this closed session.
Actually, this has been the quickest finance.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this has to be one of the quickest meetings I can
Okay,
remember.
we're back in open session. Is there anybody, nobody here for public comment? Is anybody online? Not, we'll close, public comment. Next action item is adjournment.
Make a motion.
Got a motion by Commissioner LaHaye,
I'll
support
support.
Commissioner Malone. Oh, I got a whoop.
Did we ever come up with a solid plan? Go over this as far as scheduling?
Yes.
Came out an email yesterday, I think.
So I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
So,
I'm Rob.
all right.
so it's,
Dates?
17th, 19th and
24th.
24th.
They're a little bit more, spread out.
Right out, yeah.
And
go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, and we'll be having an additional one after that because of the final updates to the insurance stuff.
Right, so as part of your budget, you might have heard from Kim, the budget plans that you have in front of you. The clerk's office was having a little bit of trouble getting the raises that we know about, so all of the union raises into the material. So the union raises are not represented, nor is the proposed 4% increase for non-union. That represents, I would say, about $150,000, $160,000, give or take. Does that seem about right? Yeah.
No, we got it in there. It was after Kim had the,
Adam, after.
Carrie,
Yeah.
figured out what the issue was, but.
Yeah, so they're in BS&A now, but they're not printed in your books. So that's about $150,000, $165,000 swing from what is in your book as a bottom line number.
Bad way, not the good.
Exactly, into the
Negative.
negative, you got it. But yeah, so after we have our review, you guys, we've gone through all of the budgets. The clerk's office and the treasurer's office will make those changes. And then we will set an additional date later in the month, 1st of November, to review all of those changes again.
Catherine, just real briefly, I'm so sorry, just so I can kind of envision what we're expecting. How do these workshops work exactly? Are they, we have them come in and present, we ask questions? I mean, how does?
So all,
I'm just gonna say, I would like Jesse to lead all of them because this is first time doing this.
Just thrown under the bus.
Support that.
I'll support it. Second it.
You might.
so typically, or at least the way they ran last year, which was the first year I was actually involved in it, I walked everyone through all of the budgets, but we invited all of the department heads to be here. So we'll have agendas. If they aren't already loaded in board book, we'll have them here loaded very shortly. So you'll know exactly which departments we are covering on which days and which funds we're covering on which days. Make sure the department heads are here when their departments are being covered. So if you guys have any questions about it, you can ask them, you know, they can present anything. I will tell you, everyone's budgets are pretty much carbon copies of last year's. You know, as I was reviewing them before the board books were printed, actually the budget that you have as far as expenses is concerned is almost identical to third quarter budget adjustments that you just passed. So we're looking a little over 13 million in expenses right now for 2023. That's almost exactly what it is for 2024. So nobody has made any huge asks as part of their 2024 budget.
Asking for axes, because I don't.
Well,
Well, none of those, right? I mean, that'll be something.
right. I would suggest if you got questions, to highlight everything that you want in the budget.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Talk about
I
it.
started
So I mean,
doing.
that's John and I did for years, highlighted. You look at it and question, why is this so much or what's it
Are
on?
they- are they-
So instead of trying to, when you go to that individual and you can look down and say, okay, I got a question on this one to your department heads.
When are we
Are
gonna
these
do?
open?
Next week.
These are open meetings?
They are.
Okay.
They're not allowed to do any closed work sessions.
Okay, I
So
was just-
they're all posted open meetings. I will tell you, you know, usually you have the press here and that's kind of it.
Well, yeah, if that, but who wants to sit through a 3 hour budget?
Right.
I don't even want to do it.
9 hours, John, plus.
Well, I mean, each day.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Is this where like some of the committees that run the millages come and present to, or is that something else?
Villages are already set.
They're already set.
Because they're just what they are.
Just getting your department heads.
Oh, we didn't,
Don't they,
Their budgets are included in your materials. So for instance, the allocations for the older persons or the allocations for youth and rec, those will come to you in November when you approve the budgets.
okay, and then
So they're-
like how they
Yep.
recommend that money be spent and we govern over that?
Yeah, and then
I understand.
that, yes.
Okay,
So they present their proposed allocations, their proposed budgets.
okay.
Somewhat like the parks. So the Parks Commission also has a budget that they come up with on their own. And then that is presented to you for final approval when you guys approve the 24 budget.
Okay. That was a good
And those budget workshops for 17 and 19 are on board book.
If the agendas might not be loaded up quite yet, but they will be here shortly.
don't
Len
they
and I
turn a
finished
different color
those
when
up.
everything's done?
Yeah,
They're like blue and then they turn green or something.
Okay.
They're good.
because they're in progress. So we'll get those loaded up.
Okay.
Well,
And is it, let me ask you this, just since we are very, very efficient with the meeting today. Obviously you have your big old board, you have your big old budget books. Is it helpful for those meetings, if I break out and put just the sections we are going to address in board book?
I would think so, yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean you break it up?
So I can pull just, so if we're gonna cover 8 departments, I can pull just those 8 departments and include them
Would it be 8 different?
documents.
Yeah.
I can either do it as 8 separate documents or I can do it as one document. Either way.
I like individual. Because
Me too.
when you're trying to scroll through, because you could just pull the budget
Yep.
up if we're talking about whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, we will do that then.
Well, it scared me.
What we're talking is, get some time. We did have our land bank meeting yesterday. And we are applying for 6.145 million through the chill program and for housing development in Alpena County.
What's that, the chill program?
It's a chill program. That's we don't have to, there's no match on that.
They're gonna give us 6, if we get it, 6.
Well, you got projects you have to apply for.
Yeah.
So, but we're gonna apply for up to 6.145 million.
You have that many projects already?
There's 22, I think, 22 or 23.
So it's about 1.5 million of it is for remediation and repair, and the other is for demo and new construction. The rest of it
Remediation and repair of what?
of homes, sorry.
So that's kind of exciting. So we'll be working on that next couple of weeks too. And that we have motion, we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, one more thing.
I was just gonna say, this has been the longest discussion for motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Hi.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed, John, you want to say it around?